The Scarecrow walks at midnight, Stanley said, repeating the phrase he had used at the train station. Mark was trying to slap the Scarecrow a high five. What does that mean? I asked Stanley. The book told me how, Stanley replied, keeping his eyes on the dark painted face on the burlap bag. The book told me how to make him walk. Huh? You mean you make the Scarecrows walk? I asked, very confused. Stanley's dark eyes locked on mine. Once again, he got that very solemn expression on his face. I know how to do it. The book has all the words. I stared back at him, totally confused. I didn't know what to say. I made them walk, Jody, Stanley continued in a voice just above a whisper. I made them walk last week, and now I'm the boss. Huh? The boss of Scarecrows? I stammered. Do you mean... I stopped when, out of the corner of my eye, I saw the Scarecrow's arm move. The straw crinkled as the arm slid up. Then I felt a rough straw brush against my face as the dry Scarecrow arm moved to my throat.
You can't scare me. Not with the basement of botany. Maybe a sentient dummy calling out creep.
Boo dudes! Welcome back. Whoa, you borped.
I did. That was an accident.
Welcome back. Or, if this is your first time listening, welcome to Calling All Creeps. It's a podcast about Goosebumps. What's up, you cute little Steinheads? I'm Matt, and this is Dave.
Hey, we don't really welcome newcomers.
We did today.
We did. This is a literary review comedy podcast brought by a college literature professor and just some guy.
Former college literature professor and current handsome stud. That's you.
Isn't like a stud, like a horse that fucks other horses?
Yeah, we're the two horses.
I fuck horses. Welcome to our podcast on
Welcome
children's
to
literature.
Yes, a good impression has been made. Dave, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I had a day today.
That's nice.
I got some feedback on our most recent episode from our producer, Chib. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
She said we go off on too many tangents.
What's that?
We just talk about erroneous things. Erroneous is the wrong word, because that means in error. But we just go off on too many tangents. We don't stay focused.
On what? What are we supposed to focus on?
What do we do here?
I mean, we have a lot of random tangents.
Can I tell you about my experience at ShopRite today?
Yes, please.
Okay. So ShopRite had whole rotisserie chickens for $4.88.
Oh my God.
It's a deal.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So I found where they are. I found the right ones. I picked up a rotisserie chicken in the plastic container filled with juice with one hand, and it immediately slid out of the container into my basket, which I was holding. So it was just a raw, nude chicken. It wasn't raw; it's cooked. But
it was like you're like, you can keep this. It's like when you leave the hanger, but you take the shirt.
Yes, I just wanted the shirt.
I just wanted the shirt, and it's just a naked cooked chicken.
It was really horrifying. And
How do you play that off?
Well, I went to go get wipes, and I cleaned up the floor because I'm not a monster.
Yeah.
I put the chicken back in the container, and
Did you purchase that chicken?
I just purchased it because I can't, in good conscience, leave it.
What did you do with that chicken?
So this was another debacle. So I got two chickens because I was like, well, I'm not going to only get the fucked up chicken. So I got two chickens. The one in the incident that was involved in the incident, I brought home. It's very hot. I held it with my bare hands, which was erroneous. There we go. And I washed it in the sink. I ran water on it, and the water was too hot, so I burned my fingies. And then I put it in a cast iron pan, and I let it sit in the oven for a while to kill any bacteria. I also took off the skin on the side that fell into the basket. So I think, and I already ate it, so we'll see what happens.
This is a really good podcast.
Thank you.
That's a great story.
Thank you.
I know that she's our producer, but sometimes
sometimes you
she's
just
wrong.
gotta, yeah.
Sometimes you're wrong.
I think we can all agree that was worth it.
That was very worth it.
Yeah. So Dave, today we have entered number 20. The 20s.
We're in the 20s.
Uh,
Our wild
I was
20s.
trying to think of a more clever way to say that, but I
Should we
failed.
take shots for episode 21 because we're of age?
Oh, yes. Every time what? So it's go eat worms.
Oh,
Every time somebody says worms,
I don't.
I think we'll go to the hospital.
I think we die. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Listeners, let us know what a good drinking game would be
Yes.
if you listen to our podcast.
So Dave makes nice little like covers for each episode with the episode number and the Jacobus cover. When we post that, when this goes live, sound off in the comments about
Yes,
what our
please.
drinking game should be without making us go to the hospital.
Yeah. And keep in mind that this book is called Go Eat Worms.
Yes.
So,
Dave, I'm wearing the cans today. I got the headphones on.
you are.
I don't like it.
You don't?
No, I think I'm going to take them off.
Can I try?
Yeah. I'm passing the headphones to Dave. It takes me out of the element a little. I feel like we're not in the same room.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm on the right ear and you're on the left ear, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know why that is either because they're in stereo.
Just like apples in stereo. Remember
That's
that
right.
bit?
Mm-hmm.
If I push this. It's pretty neat, though.
Yeah.
I feel like we're... Yeah, I'm creeped out.
Oh, yeah, it's a little weird.
It's weird. We can get to this.
Yeah.
We're in episode 20. We're working there.
Yeah. So episode 20 is notable because book 20, they've changed the spine of the book.
They did.
Should we get into it? This is Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, is number 20.
Yes.
And before this, they just had like a basic sort of Arial font on the spine that said Goosebumps, and now it's like the bumpies, the Jizzy logo. Yeah.
It's the splooge art.
Yeah, DJ Jizzy Jeff.
Yeah. They splarted it. They did some word art. They clicked it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what came up. But it's nice.
Yeah, it's different. I don't know. Should we talk about this? Oh my God, on the back, it talks about chocolate chip pancakes.
Does it?
Yeah, it says, Jody loves visiting her grandparents' farm. Okay, so it's not the most exciting place in the world. Still, Grandpa tells great stories, and Grandma's chocolate chip pancakes are the best.
This is episode 20. Why haven't we read the back? That's like the perfect synopsis.
It is. I don't know. Oh, you mean in place of the plot?
Well, I just mean just to set the course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Move forward. Whatever. So let's see what we do. So this book is listed as being published in May 1994.
Right.
Which is the exact same month that Last Books was.
Yeah, so-
However, the next book is published in July.
Yeah. we can
So
call
this was
June.
probably late May to be shipped for June. So we'll call it June
Right.
of 1994. However, the top song at that time, to take us to time and place, is
Yes.
still "I Swear" by All for One,
Hell yeah.
which you did a nice rendition of.
Thank you. Brian was proud of me.
Good. And well, if Brian's proud, that's like
all
better
that
than your
matters.
dad saying proud.
That's right. Brian's my dad.
Is he? Your jock goth dad?
Yeah.
Goth jock. I forget his
Yeah.
order.
I
It's
spent
important though.
most of my childhood in a locker. And he, most of his time in a varsity jacket.
But also hanging upside down in that locker too.
Yes. Right. He slept like, what's the joke? Is it from Wayne's World where Keith Richards sleeps upside down with his arms crossed against his chest?
I don't remember that joke. Remember when
Well, he's
they
like
sing
a vampire. He's like ageless. Or
Then they sing Queen.
something. Yes. Yes.
Watch that movie recently.
Yeah. No Stairway, Dave.
Watch that movie.
It's actually a good movie.
It is, but the teeth are horrendous.
The teeth?
His teeth, the fake teeth in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, I don't know.
Have you seen Bohemian Rhapsody? That's what I was talking about. I was talking about Queen. Bohemian Rhapsody, the fake teeth.
The movie?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god. It's the spittiest dialogue. You can tell that he's just trying to act through. It's like if I filled your mouth with just like sour candies and made you do an entire movie.
Right.
It's awful. Anyway,
In middle school, kids used to like fire spit off their tongue without actually spitting, and they called it gleeking. Dave's expression is he's mortified right now.
I'm just beginning to think that maybe producer Chib is Is right.
She's on
Because you went
something.
from like Wayne's World, then we were talking about Bohemian Rhapsody. Now we're talking about spit technique.
And we weren't even on the same page about Bohemian Rhapsody. I didn't know you were talking about the movie.
I know. I just kept going.
Yeah.
Damn, I fucking suck at this.
Look, we're both bad at this. It's incredible that anyone listens.
Well,
Hey,
the next one's the big one, the 21st book. So that's when we're going to
Yes.
turn things around and probably be a problem.
it's been a year since we decided to do this.
Has it?
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm still mad at you for the idea.
So the movie was runner-up Speed.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Keanu Reeves.
Yes. Heard of him.
But the winner, of course, was Lion King.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Speaking of movies like Bohemian Rhapsody, Sir Elton John. Can you feel the love tonight?
Yeah. Weird that both The Lion King and a movie about Elton John are out right now.
It's insane. At the same time, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Another crazy thing is, I thought about this. I would be so upset if I was Jonathan Taylor Thomas, teen heartthrob,
Sure.
hair parted down the middle,
Mm-hmm.
just a dirty blonde, just
Yeah.
little kid fuck machine.
Yeah.
And he was the voice of young Simba.
Yes.
Do you remember who the voice of adult Simba was?
It
was Matthew Broderick.
Really?
Wasn't it?
I don't know. I was going to make something up.
I'm pretty sure it's Matthew Broderick.
All right, you Google it, and I'm going to guess who I think it is.
Okay.
Sandra Bullock.
Close.
Wait, I have more guesses. Corbin Bernstein.
You know what sucks? When you search Lion King on IMDb, the new one comes up. Yeah, Matthew Broderick.
Wow.
So if you're like top of the world, Tiger Beat, JTT, just have all the like teen boys, teen girls juicing over those
Sure.
bangs.
Yeah, horny for JTT.
You're just hanging out with your Tim Allen. And then they're like, you're going to grow up to be Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, married
sucked.
Jessica Parker. Sarah. Wow. Anyway.
All right, so we do good news, bad news of this
Yeah.
month. So
Yeah.
let's start with bad news.
Okay. I turned 7. That's the bad news.
He's ruined my good news. Good news is Matt turned 7.
Did you write that down?
I turned 6.
Whoa! We're always on the same page, and
We're
I
always on the same
preemptively ruin what you're going to say because
It's
we're
fine.
so aligned.
That's the good news, that we continued to grow. I was 6, you're 7, early into the June month. And then on June 17th, O.J. Simpson led the police on a chase
boy.
in his Bronco, which was televised live on all the news channels. One of the probably most iconic TV chases off
Yeah.
of True TV.
Yeah.
It's on True TV every now and then.
Right.
There'll be like cops and they'll be like, all right, we're going to get to something big. And they're like,
Right.
you all know this Bronco.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Remember this?
Yeah, they were like, turn yourself in. And he's like, no. And he just hopped in his truck and drove
And now
away.
you can like follow him on Twitter, and he has like a bunch of hot takes on things.
Oh my God. I love that he made like his own teaser for Twitter. He was just like, hey, it's me, OJ. I'm about to say some shit. It's going to be crazy. Find me here on this Twitter.
Right.
And that's all he posted.
And all his replies are like, "You killed someone."
Well, he made that book. He came out with a book. It was like,
Right.
I didn't do it, but if I
did
did,
it,
yeah, this is how I would
And
have
it has
done
like pictures of him giving a thumbs up over a murdered body. It's like, well, it's, we already tried him. We can't do it again.
Yeah, it's fine because football. There's really not that much about this book too. We were saying that like
Yeah, there's no fun
we're going to be
facts.
filming sometime, so tangents are okay.
Tangents are allowed. Sorry, Chib.
So let me say, sometimes these headphones are fun. I'm still wearing them.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Now I'm used to it.
Okay.
Do you want to try
No,
it a little
I
bit?
think you
want
look
some of this
good.
flavor? Oh,
No.
thank you. So they're going off of they're kind of on a run right now, just
They got the runs.
teasing you with that white subtext on the front,
That's right.
the flavor text, and they're just doing movies. So we got Jaws 2 last time.
Mm-hmm.
Please read this week's.
It says, "It's a field of screams,"
That's right.
which is a play on
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
And because
which is-
you are a baseball fanatic.
I'm a
now.
baseballsman.
You're like the Philly fanatic, except
Ooh.
furrier.
But-
And your mouth is more of a tube than
right.
his.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the Fanatic. He's very fun.
He was, I'd say, top 10, top 3 all-time mascots
Yeah.
ever. And then, I don't know what it is about Philadelphia. Gritty just showed up.
Great
and just,
mascots.
Great mascots.
Amazing. Yeah, I went to a Phillies game and Fanatic came out and he like moves his belly with his hands. He like does a hula with just his belly. It's very fun.
That's very fun.
I like it.
It
It's a
sounds
little
like
unsettling, but it's like in a good way. Makes you H for the P.
Oh, okay.
Horny for the Fanatic.
Fanatics with a P?
Yeah, Philly Fanatic.
That
They
makes
get
sense.
clever with it.
Alliteration.
Yes, but you're right. It shouldn't be with a P, but
That's fine.
that's what happens when you get to Pennsylvania. Shout out Carl and Ed who didn't read the book.
Well, Carl hasn't had to read any book yet.
Yeah, no, not Carl. Ed,
Yeah.
who did a great job. Ed, we
Incredible
love
job.
you.
Imagine if he did read it, he would have blown us out of the water. We would have looked like shit and had to
I
cancel
would've-
the podcast.
Yeah, I would have just passed out. So Field of Dreams. Hey, Dave, if you build it, they will come. Anyway,
Which should be the tagline for like a really impressive Lego set.
yeah, that one's 18 and over. That Lego set.
This is true.
Um,
And then other than that, Scarecrow appears in both films. It was released 3 times in 94, 2003, had a bright green border, and then again in 2010, which is the version I have.
cool. He's a spooky jack-o'-lantern on yours. His face is on fire. Mine has actual eyeballs. Jacob
I noticed that.
drew him with
Super
eyeballs.
creepy, but a little more true to the story.
Yes.
It's got the frown.
Yeah, right. But the eyes look more distinct than in the book. They make the claim that it's just like a happy face, basically, or like a frowny face on a burlap bag, just painted. And this is a little more detailed than that, but it's great. This is a classic Jacobus Ridge.
Because I have the new book, we have little in-depth interview with Mr. Stein himself.
Okay.
So, I just want to leave it at this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's something interesting in here. They talk about superstition because, as you'll learn, Stanley has a superstition book,
That's
as they
right.
call it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're asking R.L.S. about superstition. The only superstition he has is that none of his books take place in New York
Okay.
because that's where he's from.
Right. So he doesn't want to.
And that's his
Jinx
superstition.
himself?
Yeah. He says that it would bring bad luck if he wrote a book about New York. That's what he feels. That's his own
Okay.
little superstition. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool. But this is what I like. From Jody's first description, her grandparents' place sounds like a lot of fun. Have you ever spent any time on a farm? And RLS says, no, except for the time I really needed a job and got one as a scarecrow. I had to quit that job. I kept getting a rash on the back from the pull.
That speaks for itself.
Nothing worse than getting a pull rash.
I've had to go to the doctor for that before. Hey, he lied. Because he said, no, I've never worked on a farm. Then he was like, well, except when I was a scarecrow on a fucking farm. Terrible.
Isn't that terrible?
I mean, I've grown to trust this man.
And we get some superstitions they wrote. So, let's see. There's step on a crack.
Yes, spank yourself in the crack.
That's right.
That's the second half of that.
Avoid the lines on the sidewalk.
Lest you touch my blind little hardcock.
Avoid a black cat's path, or you will.
P.
These were made up. Have you ever heard avoid a black cat's path, or you will feel the wrath?
No, that sounds stupid.
Everybody loves kittens, but these cats will dampen your day.
Like they'll piss on you?
Some cats.
Yeah. My cat pisses when you lock him in the bathroom.
Well, what a good place.
I
to
mean,
pee.
it's on my bathroom scale is a good place to do it, right, Merp? He's right here. He's like mad that I'm talking about him.
No, he's hugging you.
Well, yeah, he's a sweetie. I love him. I only, also for the listeners, I only put him in the bathroom because he screams every morning and I can't take it. And I open the window for him. He's fine.
breaking a mirror should be in your fears, while bringing bad luck for
Years.
7 years.
7 years. I knew it.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, please forgive me.
And my low-hanging balls.
All right, so I feel like that's enough fun.
Yeah, perfect.
Let's move into this story.
Okay. So Ed didn't read the book. You know who did read the book?
Who?
Stanley.
That's a good segue.
Thank you.
Right there.
Yeah, because I'm not giving anything away. Because here's the thing about this book. There's no suspense. Because right away, basically, the first chapter is like these two kids, Mark and what's her name? Jody.
Jody.
They come visit their grandparents. Do we get a state?
No.
Okay, we don't have an exact location, but they live on a farm. Their grandparents live on a farm. And their farmhand, Stanley, comes and picks them up.
Stanley, pretty problematic in the beginning.
Yes,
and then
it is.
In the beginning, he very of mice and men.
Yes, I got that vibe as well.
RLS writes him like something is mentally wrong.
Yeah, and in case you didn't get it from the gentle subtext, he just tells you.
Yeah.
As always, he just ruins any good writing by saying, like, Stanley was weird and a little slow.
Yeah, some of his chromosomes where like it's
Yeah.
it's like very cringy in the beginning.
It is, yeah.
Because he's not really a character for the beginning of the book.
No.
He's there, but he just acts sporadic and weird, like
Yeah.
to the point where you're trying to diagnose him.
Yeah, it's because it's like Grandpa said he doesn't like burn with 100-watt bulb or whatever. They basically just call him a fucking idiot, and you know he wants to use the R word, but he doesn't.
Yeah, it's real tough.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty rough. But then he kind of like, I think once RLS decided that this character was going to have a son, he was just like,
Yeah.
well, maybe he needs to have some sort of social skill to be a father.
He's to be somewhat competent, and I think in the
Yeah.
beginning, like he's fine. He's sort of like chaotic good. He's
He
like,
is.
He's sort of erratic, but you know what he says is fine. He's like concerned for everybody, and he's okay. He's excited
He's
to
a
see them.
simpleton.
Yeah, he's a simple guy. Sorry, it's a let go of the cat. That's a euphemism. So Stanley picks them up, and then right away, like they're apropos of nothing, basically, right? He just says like, "Hey, Scarecrow's walk at midnight."
And they're like, excuse me?
He's
And
like,
at first, you expect an explanation.
Right.
Or maybe this is just a little teaser. And he's like, I read it in a book.
yeah, I can make the Scarecrows walk. You know that?
And then they're like, excuse me? And he's like,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. We're going to
Yeah.
go meet
Right.
Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah, it's crazy. So right away, this is it. So then the whole book is just like, obviously we know like the whole conceit for the book, and in fact we do, right? It's just a matter of like when will the Scarecrows show up and what will they do.
I liked it, though.
I liked it
it
overall.
because I was seeing Stanley in a different light as this like broken, crazy person,
Right.
Not to be trusted, to the point where like maybe something happened, or for all we know, he could just be suffering from dementia or like anything. He's just
Yeah.
out there. Something wrong happened, or he is an unreliable character, but in the end, he's very reliable, but still has problems.
Well, yeah, he kind of RL villainized him a little bit. He is sort of the villain of this book.
He's the villain of this book, but not for like the simplest solutions. Like we'll get to it.
Yeah.
It's not like he has some sort of grand plan of money, or like he's not even a Scooby-Doo villain.
No, but there's a ransom involved.
There
where
is, but it's
you know,
so
he
like
says, do what I want or else, basically, is what it boils
yeah,
down
but
to.
it's at the same point where I'm like, give me your sour watermelons, or else you're not my best friend anymore.
Right. It's like that's how high the stakes are.
As an adult, though.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get there. We don't
Yeah.
want to keep alluding, but so they're there. We hear this threat, or I don't know if threat's the right word for it, but just he just brings this to light that the Scarecrows walk at midnight, which, to explain, they never actually really do walk at midnight.
And it's so Stanley's weird. RL establishes that right away so that we know, like, Jody can say, like, I don't know what that means, but it probably doesn't really matter because Stanley says all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Like, she says that a bunch of times. It's like, you never know what Stanley's going to say.
Yeah.
Very sitcom-y.
But also, like I'm saying, they do walk. Scarecrows do walk. We don't want you to turn it off right now and be like,
Yeah.
But it's just a very good title. Scarecrows walk at midnight.
It's good, yeah. But and then I was surprised that they used the title in the dialogue right away.
Yeah. So they go see their grandparents, and something's already off. They look older.
Yes, and sort of dead-eyed. They're not. They don't seem happy. They don't seem to be their normal selves, and they don't do the same things they used to only a year ago.
And something else we learned, but they never really gave us the story behind, is that Grandpa now walks with a cane.
Yes.
Something happened to his leg. He won't discuss it.
Grandma wears a diaper and nothing else.
Which they explain in detail about. It's like, well, you have to change the sheets so many times. And
yeah. And Mark, who's Jody's little brother, really seems to enjoy that and asked to sit on Grandma's lap and said, "Baby hungry."
I actually want to talk about Mark. So Mark, the brother, hates the outdoors. Very much loves technology and anything cool. He's upset because there's no MTV.
Yes, he wants his MTV, as Sting would say.
So on page 3, what did he bring for you? I just want to know because it says the backpack contained.
Let's see. You want me to read what the backpack contained?
Yes. You're reading from the original stock, as we always say, and
That's
I'm
right.
reading from the newest reprint.
The backpack contained his Walkman, about 30 tapes, comic books, his Game Boy, and at least 50 game cartridges.
That's insane.
He also packed a new fleshlight.
Okay. So it's weird that the fleshlight is in the book from 94, but not in mine. But mine says the backpack contained his iPod,
What?
comic books, and his Game Boy, and at least 50 game cartridges
Wow. Okay. Yeah, right. So Walkman and 30 tapes, I guess, wouldn't resonate.
in 2010.
Yeah.
All right. That was interesting. I just wanted to see what it originally
Right, the difference.
said. Yeah. So,
Something's off with Mima and Pop Pop.
yeah. But they're still very excited to have their grandkids with them for the summer.
For sure.
That's what they do. But first, they're going to walk around the cornfields, and
That's right.
they see these spooky old scarecrows.
Yep.
And they're even discussing them, saying like, oh, the scarecrows, you seen the scarecrows? Yeah, Stanley's obsessed with them. He's making them.
Yeah.
But they won't talk about it after that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, the grandparents, they want to avoid the subject of the scarecrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the scarecrows are kind of classic. They're wearing like flannel and jeans or whatever.
Droopy hats.
Droopy hats, fedoras.
That's how you know there's a problem.
That's right. Each one of them looks exactly like Bruno Mars.
And they only play Call of Duty and think
Yes.
that men are better than women.
Yes, that's right.
And it's just, but they don't believe in any of that once you take the fedora off. It's insane.
It's weird because at one point Mark takes the fedora off and he holds it up to his ear, and he's like, he can just faintly hear Jason Mraz playing. And then
Hot take. Jason Mraz is just a scarecrow.
Yes, because he's empty inside. We'll edit that out. Not a good joke. So the scarecrow's face is a burlap sack, and on the sack is painted like a frowny face.
I should try that.
Just in like black acrylic.
So black acrylic will work? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and then you can just peel it right off.
The sack? Or?
The sack. I mean,
Right.
also your balls
Okay.
and your dick.
Sorry, Chip.
Sorry, Chip. So they're pretty ominous looking, but they do look homemade. And Stanley's a little scarecrow factory. He's making a ton of them. Later in the barn, Jody finds like a bunch of sacks
materials.
and yeah.
It's Sack Factory. And this is when we meet Styx.
That's right. Who is Stanley's son?
Named,
Who's
yeah.
He's He's not the same as Stanley. They don't say that Sticks is a dumb idiot. They're just like, there's Sticks.
There's Sticks. He always just covers for his dad and
Yeah.
is very skinny.
Yes.
And loves muscle shirts.
Loves muscle shirts and joking around.
Yeah, and he calls them city kids.
City kids. You city slicker kids don't know how to use a hay bale with a pitchfork.
And he'll do a fun prank. I realized from my notes. I was telling Matt that I'll write notes when I'm reading this book for like jokes for myself later.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what this was. So they take a look at the corn, and it's the corn went bad.
Yes.
It's covered in bugs.
Yes. And what's weird about the cornfield too is they're not your typical corn stalks. It's actually every single corn stalk is Jonathan Davis, and then beyond that, every single stalk is just head.
So this is a corn joke.
It's a member of corn. Yes.
It's a member of corn.
Head plays bass.
Head plays bass. Yeah. I was wondering if you were going to know the other names of the corns.
That's it. That's where my knowledge
That's
is.
right. It's great because once I can see if Matt's going to say something, but he puts his big smile on his face when he's about to tell a
And I
joke.
start to laugh before the joke comes out, which is the telltale sign of some good improv.
Yes. And so anyway, Sticks takes this grody corn and,
Yeah.
as I wrote in my notes, shoves it up Mark's ass.
I wrote this down too, that it's pretty fucked up.
He puts it down Mark's shirt.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Ha, look at you squirm like a city boy."
Yeah, right.
And I'm
Which
like,
is
no, you just filled him with bugs.
yeah, it's not unreasonable to think that that's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, we should figure it out. Any country living folks that listen to our podcast, please sound off in our comments.
Anybody out in the rural sticks, no pun intended, of middle America.
Let us know what you do with your bug corn.
Yeah. If you want to shove it up our ass, let us know. Sound off in the comments.
Again, yeah, just got the comments when we post our photo
Mm-hmm.
on there. Let us know. So that's what happens.
Yeah.
And that's their night.
Yeah.
But that night, there's noise outside the window.
There's always noise. This whole book there's like scratching sounds. And then 9 out of 10 times it's not the scarecrows, and then it is.
Well, this time it's the scarecrows. You look out the window, and with the wind, it looks like the scarecrows are moving and trying to get off their poles.
Yeah, at this point, they're just sort of, what does he say? They're sort of like jittering on their poles. They're twitching.
It's like they're trying to get themselves down.
Yeah, right.
And it's interesting because the conceit of any sort of scare like this in an RLS book is it's the wind.
Yeah.
You're overreacting. And then, of course, you're going to be like, well, maybe I was just thinking. But she grabs Mark and she's like, Mark, look at this. And he's just like, it's the wind. And then he's like, sits and watches it for a little bit. And he's like, yeah, actually, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. And we should tell Grandma and Grandpa, whatever. And they decide to wait till the next morning. Because at this point, what good would it do? And I guess they didn't perceive it as a real threat at this point because they weren't off their stakes or whatever. And also, there's a little bit of doubt, like maybe it is the wind.
Yeah.
Like even Jody thinks that later, because the next morning they go to tell Grandma and Grandpa, and nobody is receptive to this. Obviously, they don't believe that.
And again, scarecrows is not a topic that they will discuss.
Yeah, they just kind of shut it down.
You know what they also will not discuss? Chocolate chip pancakes.
That's
what they were expecting.
Cornflakes?
They had to have cornflakes.
Crazy. Stanley, though, loves cornflakes.
Stanley loves cornflakes.
Got a second helping.
Also, it's just very unhealthy for you. And Grandma
just
even
empty cows.
forgot how to make them. Her
Yeah.
special recipe.
I'll tell you what. Every time I read about the chocolate chip pancakes, I fucking wanted them.
I want
in
them
front of
right
me.
now.
Yeah.
What are you doing after this?
Getting pancakes.
You want to go get pancakes?
Yes.
All right.
I really do.
I'm serious. We're going to get pancakes.
Okay.
We will have photos of us eating pancakes. If there's no photos, we didn't get pancakes, and my day was ruined.
Yeah. Oh, man. I went to Baltimore recently, and I had cinnamon bun pancakes.
Holy shit.
They were fucking incredible. They were
Now I want to go to
so
Baltimore and get
good.
cinnamon bun pancakes.
Yeah. It's only 3 hours away.
I want pancakes so bad right
Man,
now.
there's no, is there a better food? I don't, when you're eating them, is there a better food?
Sometimes I want waffles, though.
Right. Sure.
Chib just walked in and did the official sign language for, do you want me to make you pancakes? All right, we're back.
We're back, and ooh boy, do I want some pancakes sliding down my gullet.
We actually just left. Literally, there was a break because we needed to kind of plan out our pancake adventure.
Yes.
And while we were at it, Matt needed to take a wicked pissa.
I went to the bathroom.
And then he made us some Ronesies, some Coronas with some lime.
The unofficial sponsor of this podcast.
Yeah, we've never rated them in any of our breweries. Because if they didn't get number one, we're afraid they would pull our sponsorship.
10 out of 10 screams. Ronies are a scream. Curly said it. Now I said it.
I love that you created... We have 3 different brewery posts where we do blind taste testings of beers.
That's right.
Up on YouTube and now Instagram TV.
Yeah.
And the reason I think this is funny is because Screams is not... a score.
It's not a system we
any
use.
sort of system we've ever used.
10 out of 10 screams.
I'll give it 13 Scream Slimes. All right, so
All
where
right.
the fuck? Oh yeah,
Pancakes in my belly.
So they have pancakes. Stanley's, and you realize at this point Stanley's calling the shots.
Yes. Stanley is really enjoying himself, and by contrast, grandparents aren't. There's some weird relationship happening here.
And a lot of the things that they love to do, not happening. Grandpa loves telling them scary stories.
But now he says, I don't know any scary
I
stories.
forgot.
Yep.
Grandpa thrives on scary stories.
He loves them, usually.
He's like
And-
the crypt keeper.
Yes. And he goes,
Also, it's weird that they describe Grandpa as like really fucking sexy. The whole book.
yeah, handsome guy. He's a full head of hair.
These
Beautiful blue eyes.
Oh,
like
he's
Barbados.
staring them forever.
Pacific Ocean eyes. But now they seem sort of dead. Mm-hmm. They're just lifeless eyes, empty.
But they're also still talking about how hot he is because it's just like, I don't
sure.
fuck dead people. But
That's
if
right.
Grandpa was dead,
Ooh, keep me away from that corpse. And then they do a chef's kiss every time they approach him. Mwah! Mamma mia.
and they're like, thanks, Grandpa.
Thanks, Grandpa Mario. But Grandma,
His name on here. What's Grandpa's name?
Kurt,
Kurt. Grandma, Miriam.
Miriam, and Kurt, Courtney and Kurt,
Miriam's
Miriam Love,
Diaper.
and Kurt's dead eyes and Grandma's diaper.
So they're like, I don't know, your kids, go fishing. You love
That's
fishing.
right.
Go fishing with
Grandpa
with Stanley.
Kurt.
No, Grandpa stayed
That's
home.
right.
It was just Stan's.
Yes,
And
Sticks,
Mark-
right?
Sticks showed up later, I think.
Yeah.
So they're fishing, and you'll never guess what grabbed her leg. Not a scarecrow, because that wouldn't make any sense. It's underwater, but that's how the chapter ended. It turns out it was seaweed, and she fell.
That's right. This book is a note I made. Is almost every chapter ends with, then a scarecrow reached out and grabbed me. But as I said before, it's that actually happens almost never.
Well, she's upset because everyone's like, look at you, you fucking wet idiot. She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, I'm going to go dry off. And when she walks over, a scarecrow jumps out from the woods and scares her.
Right.
Stanley sees it, and it's just laying there. And he's just like, ah! And he does, like, in my head, a Hank Hill yell. Like,
Yeah.
he goes like,
Oh,
yeah, he goes, whoa, and like runs for it. So he
Right.
blows, and then they're like, where the fuck did he go? So they chase him. Mm-hmm. She chases Stanley down.
yeah,
Ends up at the barn.
yeah.
Walks inside.
It's dark and scary in there.
Door gets slammed fucking shut.
That's right. And she hears little pitter-patter feet scratching on the floor.
Luckily, she can get up to the hayloft.
Yeah, there's a ladder that leads up to a loft in the top of the barn where they keep all the bales of hay.
And there's like that little rope for baling hay up there.
Right.
She can see some light. She pops out, and she looks down at the door.
Yes.
And she sees, this is creepy. Mm-hmm. She sees a scarecrow holding the door shut and trying to peer through like the crack.
Right.
And then she like looks down and it like sees her, and it like awkwardly shambles away.
Yeah, they're very it's funny the way they're described and that they're not quite sure how to get their footing and stuff.
But just that's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
So like they thunderdomed something inside of this barn with her.
Yeah, yeah.
And another one was like excited to be like, oh, we're
Yeah,
gonna get
and
it.
we never know quite what it is, right? Because the footsteps stop.
Well, she goes up high and escapes
Yeah,
the footsteps, so we
right.
never know what they are.
Yeah.
But so there's that, and instantly when she sees a scarecrow run away, she knows it's probably Styx.
Yeah, that's the most logical explanation. Makes sense. He's a jokester. He likes to put like fucked up corn cobs in everyone's beehole. So, you know, it's probably Styx. He's a goofball.
Yeah.
So that's sort of Jody's MO from here on, is like she's telling everybody it's like Styx is being mean. He's playing all these jokes with the scarecrows. He tells Grandma and Grandpa about it, and they're like,
We don't discuss the S word in
but
here.
we do discuss the other S word, which is Styx. And he's a little jokey boy.
He's
You
a
know
jokester.
him.
And he also warns them too. He says, "Listen, things are different here.
Yes,
don't keep
Styx.
looking."
Yeah, he's like, you know, things have changed around here. At a certain point, he gets kind of foreboding. Later, when Jody gets to the barn at another point, Styx is in there, and he's like, "I told you that things are different here. Things are weird here," but he doesn't elaborate.
No.
So where are we now?
So it's dinner, and they expect a nice apple pie,
Right.
but instead it's cherry,
right.
which is weird because Grandpa's deathly allergic to cherries.
Yeah, so it's weird twofold. One, because they've always had apple, and two, Grandpa's allergic to cherries. But three, Stanley's favorite pie is cherry pie.
Yeah.
So this is to please Stanley, and Grandma's like, oh, well, it's Stanley's favorite, and Stanley comes first.
And his mighty book. We
Yes.
discussed the superstition book.
Yeah, so he has a superstition book.
That's what it's called.
Yes.
Not a fancy name.
Right. It's weird. This is another case of like when RL said mummy case.
Yeah.
It's like superstition book.
I think of it as like the Necronomicon.
Yeah, right.
Very Evil Dead. There's some sort of just evil book with different powers and legends and spells and shit.
And as we know from The Mummy, 1999, Brendan Fraser, you mustn't read from the book.
Yeah, that's part of the scripture.
Right.
Of the scripture of the Mummy about not reading from other scriptures.
That's right.
Amen.
Barack Obama, Madonna.
And then after Grandpa can't have any dang pie, they're like, well, I know what this guy likes. Let's have him scare the shit right out of our butts. And Grandpa, again, doesn't know no scary stories whatsoever. He's
Nah.
like, no way, Jose.
No thanks.
Bullshit.
Yep.
So they go to bed, and she's up late, and it's midnight.
That's right.
Do you know what happens at midnight?
Grandma needs a diaper change.
Maybe because Grandpa, you're scratching at the window,
Yes.
second floor.
Yep.
Grandpa climbs in through the window, freaking out.
Yeah.
Then she notices something's different about Grandpa.
He's turning into a dang scarecrow.
He's a dang scarecrow. She runs away. Thank God. Fresh from her diaper change.
That's right.
Grandma's walking up the steps.
Yeah.
But that's not her face. It's a frown.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait, the diaper's on her head.
and she decided to paint a sad face on her diaper.
That's right.
Because you know why?
She's also a scarecrow.
A diaper scrow.
Yeah.
Scarecrow.
That's right. She's a scare diaper.
She's either a diaper crow is just a diaper
That's
wearing a crow wearing a diaper, but a scare diaper.
Yeah. And she has diaper rash all over her body.
Just like R.L. Stein from when he was on that pole,
That's right.
when he rode the pole.
You know, his son went blind from a diaper on his head.
You know that his son. This is another tangent. Sorry, Chip, who's currently making us pancakes.
Yes.
I apologize. Should we not do this tangent because you're making us pancakes?
No, we should. We've already committed.
So R.L. Stein's son helped write the Beetlejuice Broadway musical. Mm-hmm. And people said, like, you ever think about R.L. Stein listening to your podcast? Like, well, we called his son blind pretty early on.
Episode 1.
Episode 1, less than 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
Because he's never read a Goosebumps book.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Which is why we say he must be blind. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason. And that's also why the Goosebumps font is embossed in the front. So he can read it Braille style.
Yeah. I think it's a reasonable guess.
It is, and I just want to say it again in case RLS gets there and we, he's so upset in the first episode, decides to hang on for another 22.
That's right. Well,
Including our specials.
We would assume that he listens every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Marks his calendar. Hey, are we going to go meet R.L. Stine?
As a matter of fact, I think we are.
I think we are.
That's what, September
22nd, maybe?
something like that
I don't
in
know.
Paramus.
Kathy told us. Shout out Kathy.
We want to shout out Kathy, probably #1 super fan.
Number one, the best. We love you, Kathy. Thanks for the tip about the RL meet and greet.
And not only is RLS there, but also the art man himself.
Jim Jacobus
is going to be there as well.
As Borat would say. Jacobus.
So I wanted to get him to sign one of my original books.
Yeah.
I have bad news. All of my original books have been destroyed.
Ooh.
There was black mold in my mother's classroom.
Oh,
she got very sick. Everyone got very sick.
Really?
And they had to destroy everything. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. My mom was on like a nebulizer and stuff like that.
Man.
It was bad.
Intense.
Yeah.
Well, you can get an original book. Are all of the ones that you have reprints?
No, I have some originals, but I just wanted like
Yours.
from my stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of kids got to enjoy them.
Right.
The mold got to enjoy it. So
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, that's a tangent. And then they go horse riding.
That's right. It's kind of weird. They go on some old horses. They're like, what horse do you want? And they're like, give us your oldest horses.
They always give them old horses because it's like, I don't want you to crash our good ones.
That's right. This one's near death.
Yeah. They gave them like my first car. This is like the 88 Camry of horses.
Right. This is like the Power Wheels of horses.
Yeah.
It's like, I want a sick pony. I want a dumb mule.
Because like, let's say they have a good pony. You have to shoot it if you break it.
That's right. And that's what happens, right? Jody shotguns both horses.
Do you know what the proper term for for like killing a horse like that is? It's the best.
Scooting the scone in the dome.
It's destroying a horse.
Oh, really?
If
Just that
you break
simple?
a horse's leg, you need to destroy it.
Jesus.
So you destroy the horse with a gun. So they're going, and they're like, whoa, thank God, we're up to a trot. We're so adventurous. All of a sudden, a scarecrow just pops out of the woods.
That's right.
And the horses whinny.
They whinny, the poo,
And they just destroy these kids.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Jody's horse whinnies, and Mark's horse tiggers.
I thought you were going to say poos.
Either joke works.
They're both
worth it. And then but the horse does go away, and they're both kids are thrown from their horses. Mark is seriously hurt. His wrist maybe gets sprained, maybe broken. IDK? Question mark.
And Jody's concussed.
Yeah.
She gets knocked out. She just the description of her head and what she's seeing and the sounds.
Yeah.
Jody's got the shit knocked out of her.
And she's always in a haze because her allergies are so bad, and she's like never understood what medication is. So she's constantly like, my vision was so hazy. It's like seeing everything through a fog.
Yeah.
So that compounds her problem. And that makes it more unclear, like, does she actually see this stuff or not, et cetera, et cetera.
But luckily, Stanley comes by.
Right. And there is the Scarecrow
He sees
laying
the
on the
Scarecrow,
ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when he loses it. He's like, the book! Oh!
Yeah.
And he runs away.
Right.
They chase him. And that's when they find the Scarecrow materials in the barn.
Right.
They're like, it sticks. We're going to get sticks. So their idea is to dress up Mark as a scarecrow
Right.
and scare Sticks. So he's all itchy. They put him in the fields. She goes to the front door to try and wake him up without waking up Stanley. And then a scarecrow comes and attacks her. It's not really Mark. It's actually a real scarecrow.
Yeah.
But Sticks just gets on that motherfucker. Stone Cold stunners him.
That's right.
His head flies
Rips
off.
off his head.
Yeah. Also, scarecrows are metal. They go for the throat. They go for a choke slam
They
every
always
time.
want to choke slam you through a table.
And then Stanley sees it, and again, he's like, whoa!
Yeah. And he wants to...
Propane and propane accessories.
The plan is to...
Damn it, Bobby.
That boy ain't right. The plan is to wake them all up so that he can... So some of them are awake, but he wants now to... Some of them are dormant. He wants to wake all of them up so that he can command them.
He's King
That's
Scrow.
the plan. Yeah,
King Scrow.
right. He's Daddy Scrow.
But, I mean, the problem... And we also learn at this point that he's been calling the shots, which we've known.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically we learned that he's kind of keeping Grandma and Grandpa prisoner to his demands, which is like, feed me pie. It's like they're so
He's
stupid.
so... I don't even know if this is a problematic term, but he's so simple.
It's like a little kid. It's like, what do you want? He's like, I want gumballs.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
He's like, no more pancakes. Also, I'm scared of your stories. Don't tell one.
Yeah, right.
Also, when it's nighttime, I want to watch Nick at Night.
Yeah. I want Mondo juice after 8 p.m.
You don't buy the Dunkaroos that I like.
I can eat just sprinkles or else.
It's the 90s, and they're like, it's weird. Every day for lunch, my grandparents have been eating Lunchables pizza.
Yes. And Sprinklin's yogurt.
Yeah.
At
a whim, Stanley can go to Burger King whenever he likes
That's
the
right.
toy.
Exactly. He's in the BK Kids Club.
Mm-hmm. He's the one in the wheelchair.
That's right. That's what RL wants you to think.
Yeah.
So that's kind of shitty though. Even though his demands are stupid and it's kind of funny, they're also like, this is a very real threat. Like this.
Also, it's because they never take him seriously. So even though he obviously has something wrong, they always treat him as like, all right, let's be adults now.
There's a broader issue, which is that he's not getting the mental health support that he needs, and which is so vital.
It is, and there's a lot to Stanley that you can just infer from his situation. So he lives in a guest house off the farm. Fine.
Yeah.
He has a son.
Yeah.
The mother's never discussed.
Mm-hmm.
So he is a single parent who's basically taking care of two elder farmhands, where if you think about it, a farm is just 90% labor, taking care of everything. He has to do everything. His son was born into the same kind of labor, to the point where you say he's driving into town to get the mail, stuff like that. So he's basically running this farm as second fiddle, and also obviously isn't dealing with a full deck of cards, as the parents say.
Yeah, although it could even just be like he had generalized anxiety disorder, and just went rampant because it was just unchecked, and now he's just like a fucking mess.
Yeah. He's very... I don't know. I feel like he could just be playing Pogs every day. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. He's like reverted to a
He's
little
like
boy.
a young... I actually had I guess he would be a great uncle of mine who came back from the Korean War like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. PTSD. And
You just turn in on
reverted back
yourself.
to... His best friend was my little brother when they were both like...
Right.
My brother was like probably like 5, and they would
Okay.
like get ice cream and like hang out.
Right. Yeah, I mean...
Crazy.
Yeah, if you don't get
never
the
know.
help you need, it's a sad scene.
But that's what it seems like. It seems like there's something way deeper. And that's what's tough about this book too, because you can never tell if he's just like, he's like a dumb farm guy, or if there's like something sitting weighing heavy on his shoulders.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so he wakes him up.
Yeah.
He reads from the book. He says the Barack Obama Madonna words. And then they don't obey him.
No.
They're not doing what he says. Everybody runs to the house, to Grandma and Grandpa's farmhouse. And Grandma and Grandpa are like, what did you do? Why did you make him upset? He promised he wouldn't read from the book unless he was upset. So you must have done something.
And meanwhile, Mark's dressed as a full Scarecrow. And
Yeah.
he's like,
I don't know.
check, please. Like,
And the camera zooms in and out really rapidly.
and then just some Seinfeld, like, bam, 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 ba-da-da-da.
And he's wearing a puffy shirt, and he says, "You're not sponge worthy." And the crowd goes wild.
Yada, yada.
Yada, yada. Kramer says the N-word. So
More than Grandpa probably does.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
So they're there, and they're like, okay, we're going to have to fight. But turns out allergies are getting too much for Jody. So Jody does a big ol' sneeze.
That's right.
And it scares Mark.
Yes. And Mark jumps back, and guess what? All the Scarecrows jump back. So they're like, whoa, Mark, you're their leader. do something, and they'll do it too. So Jody's like, "Yo, rip off your head, bro," and they'll kill themselves. And he tries it, and it works. They rip off their heads, but of course they're animated sentient scarecrows, so it doesn't kill them.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, their spinal cords have been severed.
Right. It's just they're scarier now.
And then they're like, now we can't see, and also we don't follow you, so we're just gonna choke slam everyone to death as we do.
Then Styx, the only sensible person, lights him on fire with the torches that he kept in the barn that Jody found earlier with a bunch of kerosene.
Nah, man. Scarecrows. Our only weakness.
That's right.
Fire.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Wouldn't work on me. I'm not a scarecrow. Like I said, only stabbing and bullets is anything that can stop me.
Yeah, mine is only poison and my wife. So
not said in a Borat voice, but so yeah, they're dead, and they're like, oh, phew. Well, the next morning, the kids are gonna hang out and read comic books on the porch.
That's right.
Meanwhile, Stanley's sitting inside, being like, I need to take a deeper dive into this superstition book.
Yeah.
And he promised he'll never read the Scarecrow chapter again.
Yeah, and he doesn't, but he reads something else. Right? Or is it from the Scarecrow chapter?
Probably from something else.
Probably from something else. And
But also, I think that the Scarecrow, the spell or whatever you call it, worked on the ending. Which the ending is they talked about how Grandpa at one point shot a bear.
Right.
Which at first, like, you know, that's like, oh, why'd you just shoot a bear?
Yeah.
But apparently it was a bear that was like about to kill people. And he was a hero, so he decided to show everybody how big of a hero was and stuff the bear,
Right.
and get it in their living room. And the bear comes to life and is looking to eat Jody.
Yeah. Bigger threat, I would say.
And technically, taxidermy, that's just a scarecrow, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I guess the thing would still work.
Yeah. So, whatever. So they all get eaten by the bear.
Yeah. And then it's funny because Jody gets shit out as hay.
Yes.
And they get stuffed into a new scarecrow, and she gets to live that way forever.
Yeah. And then Styx lights her on fire.
The end. They all lived happily ever after.
So, Dave, why don't we start on a positive note? What was good about this book?
I'm going to start with a bad thing
and
then say good. So this story had some really scary moments. Mm-hmm. And I think it was compelling and fun. I enjoyed it.
Yes. I would
Originally, I thought, from page 2, I thought that Stanley was a scarecrow the whole time.
Oh, okay.
And he wasn't. And Stanley was a really shitty character in the very beginning, and then I thought became more thought out and pretty thorough and good. But
yeah.
I feel like the story was pretty fun and good, but the writing was atrocious. And it was good that he was able to get the points across and the plot points with a very kind of like lackluster, especially his diction in this book was just, he used the same words over and over again, and not even like throughout the book. Like we'd hear, it was a scary night with the scary corn. The darkness was scary. Yeah. And this was also scary. Like it was insane. So I feel like while it's bad writing, Stanley's dementia is oddly well written when discussed in the book. I said that on page 47. I really like this description. My heart pounded as I reached the cornfields. The dark-coated scarecrows appeared to stare at me. As my sneakers thudded on the narrow dirt path, I imagined the straw arms reaching for me, grabbing to me and pulling me into the corn. But the scarecrows kept their silent, still watch over the corn stalks. They didn't move or twitch as I hurtled past. I just liked the scarecrows kept their still watch over the corn stalks. Yeah. I thought that was neat.
That's nice.
It's just a nice description. I feel like the dream of the scarecrows with Grandpa and the diaper was really eerie and well done.
Yeah.
On page 66, I always love when our good friend Wetlyback reappears.
Yep.
So my face was hot. My nightshirt stuck wetly to my back. So our good friend Wetlyback is here.
He's returned.
And then page 67... I just wrote that reality sets in that morning, and it was kind of nice. It says, the sea of cornstalks rose darkly behind the grass. The scarecrow stood stiffly over them, arms outstretched as if welcoming the morning. The rooster crowed again. What a stupid nightmare, I thought. I shook myself as if trying to shake it from my memory. Then I ran a brush through my hair and hurried down to breakfast. So we always get these like, and then it was this, and then it was this. It was just a dream. But this was kind of like paced out nicely. It's just, I woke up, deep breath.
Right.
That was a fucked up dream. Taking in the morning.
Yeah.
And seeing the scarecrows as scarecrows and seeing the entire scene out the window more than just, you know, what the plot points are, more than just a scarecrow, scary corn, the house. So I like that.
I noticed that too. Coming out of that dream was a little better than it's usually executed.
It's like sobering.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Cool.
So those are my good ones. What
Cool. I have 2 good points. I would agree overall. I think I enjoyed the story, but yeah, the writing was not great. I would say on page 11, there is a good section. There's some good writing here. It says, I saw a hummingbird fluttering over the flower garden beside the house. Oh, you know what? No, sorry. Before that, just before that, it says, Mark and I followed Stanley out the back door. The grass in the backyard had recently been mowed. The air was heavy with its sweet smell. Just that line, I think. The air was heavy with its sweet smell is, I think, a nice execution, a nice little bit of writing.
Listeners, keep that phrase in mind for some of my bad writing. Different part, but yeah.
Right, yeah. Page 23, I think, overall is mostly good. It says, upstairs in my bedroom later that night, I changed into a long nightshirt. The bedroom window was open and a soft breeze invaded the room. I stared out the open window. A broad apple tree cast its shadow over the lawn. This is the first, so Dave, to your point, a lot of things are recycled in this book, and terms are used again and again. A broad tree is used again, but this is its first time, and so it's nice. It's
good.
Where the grass ended, the cornfield stretched out under the glow of the full moon. The pale moonlight made the tall stalks shimmer like gold. The stalks cast long blue shadows over the field. Across the field, the scarecrows poked up stiffly like dark uniformed soldiers, their coat sleeves ruffled in the light breeze. Their pale burlap faces seemed to stare back at me. I just think that's nice.
That's really nice.
It's a nice setup.
Great.
In isolation, it's nice. Again, he reuses some of the stuff, but its first time is good. And that's all I have for the good.
Okay. So on my bad, I got some weird stuff. So on page 2 is Stanley hitting on Jody.
Ooh.
You look nice, Jody,
Right.
Stanley said, his cheeks turning as red as his ears. How old are you now? 12, I told him. And Mark is 11. He thought about it. That makes 23, he joked.
Oh, no.
Is that like,
yeah, that
I'm gonna
is...
fuck you both?
Yeah, it is not great.
Not great. Page 6. This is what I was saying, like, coming back to what you said with sweet smells.
Mm-hmm.
I like the barn with its sweet smells. I like the low mooing sounds of the cows way off in the far pasture. I like to watch the tall stalks of corn all swaying together in the wind. Have you ever been to a barn with cows?
Yes. It smells like feces.
It smells like shit.
Yes.
My cousins in Massachusetts their grandparents owned a farm next to them, and it smells like shit.
Yeah, it sucks.
There's no sweet smell of a barn.
No.
It smells like straight up fucking shit.
Yeah, sweet hog shit.
Yeah. This is something on page 8. I just wrote, what the fuck are sentences? Because I don't think he knew. So this is a sentence. He has sparkling blue eyes that always make me smile, period. And white stubble on his slender face, period. Grandpa Kurt doesn't like to shave. Today he was wearing a long-sleeved red and green plaid shirt, comma, buttoned to the collar despite the hot day, comma, and baggy jeans, comma, stained on the knee, comma, held by the white suspenders. And it's just like, everything he writes is so... He'll use commas for crazy run-on sentences, but it'd be like, Matt is sitting here at the table, period. He is wearing a blue hat, period. Blue shirt, period. He's wearing pants that are baggy, comma, the baggiest of pants that I have seen recently, comma. It is a hot day, which is good for shorts, comma. The pants are brown, period. They are also gray, period. Like, it's just, it's insane. Everything's so choppy in this entire book. And it's a lot of things, like, for some reason, Stanley thought that was funny, period. He was laughing so hard, he choked on his own split pea soup, period. And Grandpa Kurt had to reach over and slap him on the back. And this. It's just like, this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened.
It's weird pacing.
And it's not like him. Like, he does do he starts sentences with "and," but, like, this is just the most... If you needed to get all of the examples of that sort of, like, grammatically odd writing, this book is main offender. Yeah. So this, I think, is the shittiest description he's ever written. It's on the sexiest page, 69.
Oh, nice.
It says, Grandpa Kurt always called Betsy and Maggie the old gray mares. I guess because they were both old and they were both gray.
Wow.
On page 89, something that you probably wrote, it was another little did we know.
Yes, I did write that.
It says, I nodded, an evil grin spread over my face. I think so, I told my brother. I think Styx is in for a terrifying surprise. Little did I know that we all were.
Hate it. Very bad.
Page 97, I just think there's an error.
Ooh.
So I want to see if you have this as well.
Yeah.
So they always talk about how Stanley can chant when he chants the words.
Yes.
This sentence, it says, Dad brought the scarecrows to life. He said softly, last week before you came, he used his book. He changed some words, and they all came to life.
Yeah, mine says he chanted some words.
I keep finding these. There's so many errors in the reprint that are not in the original.
Weird.
It's like they ran it through like a spell check or something.
Right, and it changed it.
Yeah, so I thought that was weird that there's
that's
definitely
you're right. It's not the intent.
Yeah, crazy that it's not in the original, but it's in this one.
Yeah.
Fucking Scholastic, you pieces of shit.
Get it the fuck together.
Wait, but you know how much money I paid for this book? $6.99. Nice. Nice.
The price is right.
20% off at Barnes & Noble. Thank you.
Wow. Was that all your bad?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll blow through my bad. Page 10. Jody said that if Mark did something, I don't know, told jokes, did some kind of shit. Oh yeah, played guitar. If Mark had brought his guitar to the farm and played it, the cows would start giving sour milk. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean or do. I guess it's a burn on him. Very strange. She's 12.
Will you ever, like, play guitar so bad that you do a bad cum?
Yeah.
Or, like, you play guitar so bad that your pee smells like you ate asparagus?
Right, yeah, I have done that. Yeah, one time I was feeling totally fine, totally healthy, and then I played the solo from Little Miss Can't Be Wrong, and I shit my pants.
That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just really bad. So anyway, I also shit on the guitar. And then it disintegrated.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, baby.
Okay, so you can
Carry
hear...
gold, please. Carry gold, please.
You can hear noises of things being put down on the table. That is 100% pure Vermont maple syrup.
Real
dark color, robust taste, grade A.
Thank you.
And then some butter being put down here. The pancakes smell incredible, producer
Ooh,
Jib.
Baby.
Oh shit, they're already here.
Wow.
All right, we need to finish this podcast up quick so we can eat these delicious pancakes.
Page 18. The nickname of Sticks, the explanation sucks. It's because he's thin. So, like, that's why we call him Sticks, because he looks like a stick. And it sucks. I hated that.
I feel like they could just call him, like, with his description, be like, we call him Thin Guy, because he is a guy, and he's thin.
Yeah. We call him Slender Man.
Oh, my God. Did you make a tiny pancake for Murray?
This is so cute. I'm going to take a picture so we can post it on the page. that Murray is eating a tiny cat pancake. He's touching it with his little paws. So by page 20, it's like she just keeps mentioning like how different the grandparents are, and we get it. It's like enough. Like every couple pages, it's like something's off with me, mom, pop, and I've had enough of it at that point. On page 32, we have one of those false scares. So it says, Jody, what's the matter? Grandma Miriam asked. I started to point to her hand. Then it came into sharp focus, and I saw that her hand wasn't straw. She was holding a broom. So Jody thought her grandma was turning into a scarecrow, but she was actually holding a broom, which I think is insane. The scarecrows wear fedoras. That's insane. On page 65, we get a play-by-play of a door opening. It says, I grabbed for the doorknob, twisted it, pulled open the door. It's like we don't need 3 separate sentences for you opening the door. The little did I know I had in there. And then on page 103, one of my favorite deputies. Ow! I cried out as I stumbled in a soft hole and fell. Weird. It doesn't really have... It just like... And what does it mean? It's just like a soft hole. There's either a hole in the ground or there's
You'll
not.
know when you're older.
So that's it. That's what I got. That's my bad.
All right. So, how many screams would you give this book?
How many screams?
I'm going to give it a few screams.
I think... What did I rate 10 out of 10 screams before? I don't even remember.
The Coronas.
Oh, yeah, the Ronies. So, compared to Aroni, I would give this book 6 out of 10 screams.
All right.
Which I think is a fair score.
So, that is our newest episode. If you want to follow us, you can go to Calling All Creeps Pod on Instagram.com. That's the best place to find us. Or you can see all of our content at harrystyles.org.
harrystyles.org. You'll see all of our content in a link tree.
And we're pulling everything through as well. A lot of people are now seeing our breweries.
That's right.
We've been doing them for almost a year now.
Uh-huh.
We have 3. And if people enjoy it, we can keep drinking beers. And I'd also love for people to send us things. So if you do want to send us stuff that's just like a weird...
To try?
Yeah, taste test.
Uh-huh.
I also like the idea of us just doing off-brand candy. Like, you know how there's like the CVS brand and the Walmart brand and like...
There's like Sour Jacks.
Yeah.
Which is what I do in the shower. I got butter on my arm. Chib, can I
Please come lick this butter from his arm.
We're out of paper towels. Can I have toilet paper?
Not for the butter.
I played guitar so bad that I shit myself.
So
we didn't do our
stuff.
alts.
Oh,
Spook
we
and
gotta do
Scare.
that. Yeah.
Stressed.
I have no alternate title, but I got some other stuff. So
Cool.
What is your Spook and Scare?
My Spook and Scare is page 49, baby.
Woo.
Some footsteps in the darkness. It says... So Jody's in the barn. She's trapped in there, right? Because her scarecrow friends have trapped her in there. I tried to force away my panic. I held my breath, waiting for my heart to stop racing. Then I let out my breath slowly. Slowly. That's how it's written here. I was just starting to feel a little better when I heard the scraping sound. A dry scraping. The sound of a shoe crunching over straw. Ah, oh. I let out a sharp cry, then raised both hands to my face and listened. Scrape, scrape, scrape. The sound of footsteps, slow, steady footsteps, so light on the barn floor. Footsteps coming toward me in the darkness.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mine was on page 53, a little bit after that. Eagerly, I grabbed the rope with both hands, then I poked my head out of the window and gazed down at the ground and let out a scream of surprise and horror. Gazing down, I saw a black hat. Beneath it, black coat. Scarecrow, perched outside the barn door, as if standing guard. It jerked its arms and legs at the sound of my scream, and as I stared in disbelief, it hurried around the side of the barn, hobbling on its straw legs, its arms flapping at its side. I blinked several times. Was I seeing things? The whole scene, as we discussed before, that Scarecrow's trying to get her, so another Scarecrow shut the door on her, and they're like...
The tag team.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. So who's your best dressed?
I like Grandpa's style on page 8. We talked briefly about his style before, but it says Grandpa Kurt is tall and broad-shouldered. Mom said he was really handsome when he was young, like a movie star, she always tells me. He has wavy white hair, still very thick, that he wets and slicks down flat on his head. He has sparkling blue eyes that always make me smile, and a white stubble over his slender face. Grandpa Kurt doesn't like to shave. Today he wore a long-sleeve red and green plaid shirt, buttoned to the collar despite the hot day, and baggy jeans stained at one knee, held up by white suspenders. I'll also say that Mark wears a Nirvana t-shirt on page 27, and that's cool.
Does he?
Oh, man, does your book say something different?
27?
Yeah, Mark was right behind me on the stairs.
He was wearing the same jeans as yesterday and a red and black t-shirt. They censored out Nirvana.
Red and black Nirvana t-shirt.
Which is pretty crazy that they put that in there because a month prior,
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain had killed himself.
Right. Weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Grandma Miriam. Just for this sentence, she likes big, roomy house dresses. Period.
Nice. You know, Garfield would mistake her for a flower bed and jump on her.
Or she could be a Homer Simpson when he stays home.
Doe.
Doe.
So, Dave, what's your alternate title?
The Scarecrow's Walk in the Afternoon.
Whoa, scary.
Because they never walk. They walk at midnight once, and it's in a dream. It's not real.
That's true.
So I just want it to be more factual.
Mm-hmm. More correct.
More correct. So, yeah,
Get it.
The Scarecrow's Walk in the Afternoon.
I would go the Scarecrow Wax at midnight. That's it.
That's it.
Bye.
Give us some reviews on iTunes. We have some that we need to catch up on.
Mm-hmm.
But the only one I think that we haven't done so far is Producer Chib. So
Yes. But we will shout you out if you leave a comment.
And we'll still do our thing. We will give you your Goosebumps death.
Right.
We will tell you how you would die in a Goosebumps book.
That's right.
So I don't know if you've been listening, but pancakes have been delivered to us.
Mm-hmm.
They smell delicious. We have buttered them mid-podcast as you've listened.
Yeah, with Kerrygold. Buttra. Irish cows.
And we need to take pictures of us with these stacks as promised.
Hell yeah. All right.
Boo dudes.
Boo dudes, bye.
See you.